Yeah, so this is just a little intro to the sun sign videos that I'm putting up. So if you've listened to me before, you will know this already, but if you haven't, it's just to really explain how I do the readings. So, and I say this in some of the readings. I didn't know I was going to do an intro. I thought I'd better do one at the beginning. All right, so basically these are twin flame readings based around sun signs. So it's based around astrology. And in the way that I do these public collective readings is that it's in a very fluid way, okay? So, first of all, yeah, it's based around the signs of the zodiac, but you could listen to any one of these readings and you will find some kind of clarity or understanding. So, it's a lot more beneficial if you let go of whatever sun sign you are and don't try to apply it in some kind of, don't try and box yourself in. So, if you want to look at your chart and how the transits are affecting your chart at the moment and your twins chart, then and open it up. So open up the energy around you. I would listen to all of them. They're not very long. It's about 2 hours if you listen to all of them. I'm doing them in sections, air, water, fire and earth. So you can, have one a day or whatever. And just let them wash over you and let the wisdom sink in. Take what you need from it, leave what you don't. Don't start questioning in your head about what you don't need. So you don't want to go into conflict in your mind and start to get all worried and stressed about anything. You just want to stay fluid with it, go with the flow, and find a good feeling place around it. Okay, so that's the first thing. The way I use the tarot deck as well, just to explain, is my own particular way. So for me, the cards change, all right, because I shift, and this has gone on for years now, and when I shift, the cards will change meanings, and also that sometimes they'll tell me something with a card and the meaning will change. So I'll get a clairaudience that will mean, oh, that card means this now. All right. So the way I use the cards is kind of in accordance with wherever I am at my journey at the current time. Each card, if you view it as a little portal of wisdom, all right. So free yourself from all the understanding that you've ever had of what these tarot cards are when you're listening to my readings. Different if you're doing your own and you want to pin a meaning onto it, then that's fine. But don't go by the books with what I'm reading, because I'm a twin flame and I read for twin flames, and the meanings I have are always for twin flames. All right. So that's the other thing. I do readings and sessions, video readings with the cards, and Skype sessions for twin flames. Anybody else actually that wants to come with anything, but mainly for twin flames, because that's what I'm here for. So if you wanted to get in touch, my email address is in the description box below, and if you email me, I'll send you back all the details of prices and how I do the readings, and just in knowing that as well, because I like to remain, I work vibrationally, is that I don't like too many emails back and forth. So there's no need for feeling like you need to tell me your whole story by email or anything like that, because if I start to read for you, I'll get it all anyway. All right, it comes through source, it comes through your guides, your higher self, etc., and your twin's higher self. So just to say that, is there anything else that I need to say? I don't think so. All right, no, that's it. That's the intro. I am going to be putting out readings every month, I hope. So, but by the moon cycle. So the next one will be at the full moon to the new moon, but the one after that will be from the new moon right through to the next new moon. So it'll be monthlies, but I'm starting this halfway through a month, so it's got to be 2 weeks. All right, so these are for the next 2 weeks, basically. Okay, lots of love. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing all those things people say. Thank you for liking. Thanks a lot. Bye. So we're back now with the readings for water. And this is from the new moon on around the 14th of January 21 to the next full moon coming up, which is in 2 weeks' time. So it's covering a 2 week period, basically. So I'm just going to shuffle these again now. So I've got all the cards back together after the last one. It's got all the cards to work from. goodness, they're leaping around, aren't they? Could be because it's a bit cold in here. No, that's not because it's cold in here. All right, so you've got 3 of Wands jumping out. That's particularly coming out. Let me just give this another. All right, nearly there. Right, so the first one we're going to look at is Pisces. So this card, 3 of Wands, I'm just going to put that there because that just jumped out before I'd said any kind of sign. I'll see if it relates to the Pisces. If not, it just might be relating to all the water signs and what we need to know there. And just to let you know, 3 of Wands is a mundane card, so it's like a kind of it's just about maybe like how you feel on a daily basis. It's really about ships coming in, so the arrival of something and you being in anticipation of the arrival of something. But what it's waiting for the arrival of is not always something like transformational. It could be very, very, it's like in the medieval days or whatever, where the ship would come in and it might have some letters, so you might be waiting for a communication. That's what they're saying. So it's that kind of thing, just maybe a letter or, something that you've ordered even. But yeah, first of all, they said letter. So that's what we're looking at there, is information coming in, basically. Slow as well, because it's like on a ship, like an old medieval ship. So those letters used to take a long time. Sometimes they go around the world before they got to the country there was the person in whatever country they were going to. Okay, so Pisces. What does Pisces need to know? Knight of Swords, which is information coming in and it's clarity. So perhaps this is related to something that you're waiting to hear about. Emperor. Emperor is significant of the masculine energy, and the masculine energy in authority and the masculine energy being made manifest. It's an earthly energy. It's number 4, and that's related to, my guides talk about the 4 feet on the ground, which is the vibration, the emotions, the mind and the physical body. So having everything very grounded, and that meaning that something is ready to manifest, because when it's all grounded, the vibration states that it will manifest. So information from the masculine energy coming forward. The authority, you see, in the Emperor as well, is like, if you're talking about a person, let's talk about it in a lower dimensional way, just about a person, say a man or a woman. This is about information manifesting from that person when that person's got themselves together. But that person will only ever get themselves together because if it's an energetic connection, it's vibrational. And the vibration that's being created is created in the feminine. So this is going to arrive when you've got yourself together, but they're going to appear to have got their self together because you've got yourself together, right? Information coming in through masculine. Maybe a long time coming, like we say, the 3 of Wands is something that's been a long time coming because it's been on a ship. So it would have taken, you might have been waiting a long time for this. Energy, brand new points of energy, vibration, creation, vibration is what the Ace of Wands is. So all coming about through that vibration again. So in terms of Pisces, I feel like you've got, it's almost like you've got laser vision. At the beginning of this year, maybe you feel like you are zoning in on exactly how it feels to be in your most authoritative vibration, your vibration of oneness, your knowingness. It feels like you have kind of zoned right in to what it is you want to feel like, and how you know that you're going to manifest through that feeling. So for a lot of you, this is maybe different to how you felt before, because Pisces is a very watery energy. You are asked to spend a lot of your time in your emotions, that you're when you incarnate, you're given that task of being in the emotions and balancing the emotions, like the fish flip-flops, and you're represented by the fish. It's that flip-flop of emotions. So a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and because you're very connected to the emotions. So in that flip-flop of emotions, you see, you've got extra work, and always will have had extra work in getting into the head. Some signs are in the head. That's just where they are. Some signs are in the are thoroughly grounded. You know, Taurians are thoroughly grounded in physical reality. Virgos are in the physical reality and in the head. Cancer is in the heart. Pisces, it's very much imagination. So you're in the head and you're in the feelings, but you're not. There's not much grounding there, you see. So it's kind of like an imagination running riot and creating the flip-flop in the feelings is maybe where you've been and coming from as well. And this information that's coming through, this solid structure of the Emperor, is clarity. So you must have found clarity, or in the next 2 weeks, you're finding clarity. And that is arriving at a vibration where manifestation occurs. Communication. You see, this communication, information that's been a long time coming, it's not literally on a ship. It's only metaphorically on a ship. So it doesn't mean you're going to have to wait and wait and wait for that letter to arrive or that contact to arrive. It just means when you get in a vibration, it manifests and it arrives. However long you might have been waiting, however long it seems to have taken coming, the point of arrival is literally in a feeling that you will have. That is the feeling related to the thought that relates you to the vibration of oneness, which is source, which is no fear, which is I know why I'm here, which is I've got nothing to fear, never had anything to fear, why should I fear? And when you're in that vibration, masculine feels that, senses that, thinks that, is that, moves forward. And this is how they show me a lot of things, right? The red button is being pressed. So the countdown is over and the button is pressed and pop, bam, it's coming out of, it's coming into reality. Okay, one more on this for the Four of Swords, that state of no mind, basically. So that's where you need to be. So you need to be resting, rebalancing yourself. Remember the flip-flop. So how you rebalance yourself is to go to sleep, because when you go to sleep, you go back to source. So you go back to pure vibration and you release all resistance when you go to sleep. That's why it's so valuable. So that's where, you know, you can be in a state of no mind whilst you're awake, of course. But there is practice and process into understanding how to achieve that. In sleeping, it just is. So it's the best way of getting into no mind. The no mind's land, they're calling it. One more. You're getting a world again as well, which is the freedom. Freedom point is sleep. So they're saying rest your mind, uncord yourself from the physical reality as much as you can find to do in the next 2 weeks. Because an opportunity exists in manifesting what comes through that vibration of no resistance, of freedom. And it's something you might have been waiting for a while. So that's what they're saying to do. So just this next 2 weeks, practice being in the vibration of oneness. Practice being uncorded from your mind and your thoughts. Sleep as much as you can, rest as much as you can. That's all I'm going to say in regard to that. They're not saying anything else. Sometimes they'll say drink wine, you know, but they're not saying that. They're just saying rest, sleep. You're in process of recovery. You're in process of recovery of what was never lost. And you recover it by sleeping. And what was lost is what you're waiting to hear about. So it was never lost, right? Not really. It's just the more you can rest your mind, the more chances it has of coming back in. All right, so I'm going to leave that there with Pisces. Turn them over. So next we're going for Cancer. say, okay, so we've got the Nine of Wands coming out. Nine of Wands is representative of masculine energy finishing its process, the wounded warrior. So at the end of the battle, however low the warrior has got, he will rise again, rise up onto his feet and walk forward, which if you listen to my last video is what they showed me in the ending of the Astral Wars, which is basically the ending of the thought, war going on in thought, and the masculine arising again. So you've got here masculine energy arriving at the end of the process. The Lovers is coming out. The Lovers is divine union. It's the energetic process of divine union. So this card's number 6, which is about balance. Again, balance, you can see source coming through at the top of the card. So this connection is from source. So look at it as a chain of planets traveling down in a line. So you have source energy, and then you have the energy of the mind and the heart and the physical reality, and that's in the sexual organs, and it's in the base chakra. It's all down there in those bits and pieces. And then you have the physical manifestation, which is the divine love connection. So the whole thing is representative of source all the way through your physical experience in whatever energy you're in, heart, thought, past, future. All connection is connection to source. And in that as well, that's 0 point. All right, so source is 0 point. So the purely energetic connection, again, arriving at 0 point, state of harmony, which 6 is about harmony, and about 0 point is about the completion and the conclusion and the rise of the masculine into authority. Okay, so this is what they're talking about for you. Let me just get one more out here. Process. So what I'm feeling about Cancer, Cancers are very, very in the heart. So that means that they are very involved in the energy of emotions. So what I'm feeling is, for Cancer, it's almost like you're being asked to come away from the experience of emotion and to be in a state of oneness. So when you feel the energy of emotion come through your physical body, it doesn't matter what emotion it is, because all emotions that you feel have an effect on your physical body. All right, so we're not looking at long-term or chronic or anything like that necessarily, although they do. But also, what we're really looking at here is just that state of, in the moment, how you feel in your physical body. So maybe looking at how you feel from a minute to minute, second to second basis, in terms of, if you're feeling any stress, are you feeling any anxiety, are you feeling any discord in your physical body that's coming from your emotional well-being, basically. And if you can focus on transforming inside yourself those physical sensations that are arising from a state of not well-being, and focus on those and calming those and soothing those, then that's going to bring you towards a place of emotional well-being. So the two things are really connected here, because they're talking about process, right? Also number 3, the Hanged Man. So it's like you're bringing something into being and you're bringing it through the heart center. And this is what you're bringing into being, is the arrival of the masculine energy and the ending of the battle. So sometimes you're looking at this process, and when you're looking at it in whoever you're looking at it energetically, you could be looking at the mind, you could be looking at the emotions, the physical body, you could be looking at higher energy and the vibration, the connection to source. Different for different people, different times. Everybody's going to be in those energies at some point. Everyone's got to clear everything. But right now for you, they're talking about heart energy. And again, this like true knowing. So when you're in a state of true knowing, it means you're going to be in a state of well-being. And again, it's about uncording yourself. And when you're in a state, they're really showing me like how it can feel to be separated from somebody, and that pain that you can feel when you're separated from somebody you want to be with. Right? And that pain, you feel it in your physical body. And that pain, it might bring on, more emotions of crying or sadness and grief, and physical activities like crying that are connected to sadness and grief. And they're showing me like pulling yourself back into your heart space. And in that, you know, maybe you could do some like heart-based, heart-centered meditations, and just ground yourself into your heart. Even putting your hand over the center of your chest and holding the flat palm of your hand there can bring you to heart center, because actually heart center in terms of the chakras is not quite over to the left where the actual heart is. It's right in the middle. So if you were to put the flat of your hand right in the middle of the center of your chest and breathe through there and let go, you'd be bringing yourself into the heart center that is actually in alignment with source. You remember they said in this card, it's like it's a straight line down from source into the physical earth. It's the planets straight down. I know they shift around a bit, but we're just talking as it's the visual they're giving me, right? And that's straight down, and that straight down is 0 point. And then that's straight down through you, crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, etc. So find your center is what they're saying in this process for Cancer. Because as well, you see, you operate from the heart. You are the heart in that emotional sense. And it's, again, it's like your incarnated idea of humanity. Because as everybody comes into humanity, they take on a belief, and really the sun signs are all about the belief that we've created, but also that's not come from nowhere, you know. It's not a false belief. You've come here to be heart-based, and in that there is and you are representative of the whole human experience in that. So you're really just the heart, the moon, which is the whole human experience, which is what you're represented by. It's the human experience of coming into the heart, okay, and being in the heart and functioning from the heart. So for you to work on, to focus on the heart is a really good place for you to be in terms of twin flame process. And of course in that there's a soothing, right, of emotion. They're not saying be in the heart and then, you know, be up and down and in and out and all over the place. And, you know, it's about bringing it to a point of non-resistance again, and bringing it to a point of solidarity within the self. So it's being, you know, the heart as a weapon, if you like. The heart as a weapon in war, right? It's like the heart as because the masculine has a heart as well, even though it's masculine energy. It's not just feminine that has heart. So it's like bringing that heart into power. Okay, I'm going to put one more out. Queen of Wands, vibration, because ultimately that's vibration. But in your spectrum that you work with a heart. So, and the heart leads to the mind, right? And then you lead to manifestation. So your process of manifestation is through the heart, basically. That's Cancer. Now we're going to move on to Scorpio. We've got 5 of Cups coming out. So this is representative of love that still exists, although it doesn't appear to. And in that, you can see this person's looking down. It's like the person in this card just misses the whole thing. They're missing the whole deal, because they're in so much anguish and pain and utter despair and despondency that they're not seeing the wood for the trees. You see, they're not seeing what still exists there. And they're not even looking at what doesn't exist. They're just in this state of loss, and loss is confusion, because if they're not looking out and seeing what still exists and smelling the roses, right, and lifting their head up, then they're never going to come back into that feeling place that what that is, that love there that exists, is available as, right? So it's like being detached completely from anything that can take you into a good vibration. It's not operating from that understanding is what that card's about. However, we haven't got them all out yet, so I'm not trying to like make you fear or worry or anything like that. I'm just saying what that card is. 8 of Pentacles is work in the physical world. It's also representative of letters, and that's what they've been telling me. They were telling me last year. I had that twice for a letter being written. Okay, so just so you know that as well. Work, and also somebody writing. You can see the man jotting down notes, writing down something. A labour of love is what they're saying. And then we've got Four of Pentacles, the now moment. All right, I'm going to get one more out right now, actually. And Queen of Pentacles, which is physical grounding, reality, the feminine again. So what they're saying here is basically, and as you'll know, the soul choice of Pisces, the incarnated choice, of Scorpio, is to be a human representation of the dark night of the soul. So that dark part of the psyche. So not only do Scorpios come into the physical dimension for dark experiences in the physical world, such as anything abusive or narcissistic or negative in any way, they come in to learn through those experiences. They also come in to emotionally, you could say, investigate the darkness that lies within the human experience from within themselves. So they are very focused at certain periods of their lives, and not all the time, because they've got other planets in there as well, and they've got other aspects to their chart, just as everyone else has. But if you've got a heavy Scorpio in your chart, say you've got Sun in the first house, and that's in Scorpio, and a Scorpio ascendant, that's a strong Scorpio influence. Or you could just have the Scorpio ascendant. That would be a strong Scorpio influence. I've got Mars in Scorpio. That's a strong Scorpio influence because Mars is about anger and aggression, and and Scorpio is all the dark energy. So I've got that there, drawing myself, in the past, a lot of anger and aggression towards me, feeling it myself. So you look at where you've got Scorpio in your chart and how it's aspected, and also the transiting planets and how that's affecting that, to see where you are in terms of what Scorpio means to you at any given time. But Scorpio are here basically to reap rewards from the dark energy. So they are really kind of representative of the Grim Reaper, right? It's like, it doesn't matter how much light can be shining sometimes on a Scorpio. They don't want to see it because they're here to investigate darkness. So they'll turn away from the light and they'll go towards the dark in terms of more investigation, which is what the psyche is all about. The human experience, it's the investigation of the self. So self-investigation in terms of darkness. So that might be that in the next 2 weeks that you're guided back into that process, because like I say, it's an incarnated reason for being here. So in terms of what you're here to be, especially when you're younger, not so much when you're older, but when you're younger, a lot of it is it's all automatic. I'm also double Virgo, and when I was younger, I was like everything had to be signed on the dotted line. Laundry would come before sex. That's how Virgo I was. So, but as I grew older, I grew out of all that. I got into my 30s, my 40s. It all the Virgo stuff started to relax until I'm completely out of it now. Apart from I do still think about laundry a lot, and enjoy thinking about laundry. But anyway, so I'm just saying, you might find yourself propelled into this way of being in the next 2 weeks, where you're being guided to investigate the dark part of yourself and to not see the light. So you might purge, for example, because when you're purging, you're in the lower energy, lower consciousness, and you're not able to clamber back out into higher consciousness until the light of the moon comes in. The light of the moon is, of course, the full moon. So for you, Scorpio, also it would be very good, whoever's watching this, look at where your Scorpio is, look at what it's doing in relation to everything else, and look at your own cycle and how your own cycle in terms of the moon and the change from the dark of the moon to the light of the moon affects you individually and personally. Because again, it's going to be different for everybody depending on where your whole chart is basing you at the time. Anyway, so you might have a 2-week purge period, basically, is what they're saying there. That's work, okay? And here is right now as well. So you've got current moment and in your physical reality. So that's basically what they're saying there. 2 weeks. I know it's not very exciting, is it? Let's pull another one out. But it's the work that has to be done, right? And it's all in terms of grounding you, right? So you come out of that, like I say, as you go through purge, and then you come out of it into better energy, and you become more grounded every time you do. And eventually we've got reaching out. So this is also in relation to a letter being written and reaching out. Just to say as well, in terms of twin flames, because that's who these videos are for, of course, this investigation is done in terms of this whole process. So when you're purging in terms of what is this all about, where is the truth in it, what is this connection really about, Why am I in so much pain because of this connection? Why does this seem at times futile? All these different human cordings of the experience, you will be guided to investigate. But that's in its sense is not futile, because it is your work and will lead to reconnection. Because as you come through it, Scorpio comes into this much more grounded energy where you're not in the emotions so much. So it's like you're grounding down through that chain of chakras again, down into your base chakra, and you're going to find out a lot, because Scorpios do they're very psychic as well, really psychic. So they do, when they're investigating, find out a lot of truth, and a lot, because it's downwards here into this Queen of Pentacles, which is grounded energy. Maybe you find out this time around in this 2 weeks that you're going to find out stuff about your family, your lineage, your heritage, and where the truth lies there. They're just saying that because it's coming right down into the ground here. All right, but all that, of course, is going to lead to some kind of communication, ultimately twin flame communication, but maybe there's some other kind of communication that's going to come from that right now. Maybe you will find yourself communicating with family and reaching out to them. Maybe there's some letters that are going to be something uncovered about family, some letters written or some letters found or something like that. All right, so I'm going to leave that with Scorpio. And that's the end of the water signs. So I'll come back with the whichever one is going to be next. Okay, lots of love. As I said in the others, if you want a reading, a session, my email is in the description box below. Bye.